our camera crews panning up to that building. And again, you can just see how high up it is. This second worker, looks like they're going to get him to come down here from this piece of equipment. So you can see they have a lot of harness equipment that has been placed on them. There's that firefighter who's helping assist with this rescue. Again, that's the Austin Fire Department, who's made their way down onto this scaffolding piece of equipment, and now they're going to be assisting get this second individual off. So again, they said that the two were attempting to fix an issue they were having with their equipment, but it was not responding. Then the rescues determined that the equipment was not safe and moved on to this rescue plan. So they did a rescue plan where they're now helping lower them down from this place, this very high up story, and it does look like he's going to be making his way down. Seems like our rescue firefighter also helping kind of walk him through exactly what needs to be done, helping rappel him down from this building. Now, we brought this to all of our viewers earlier here today. It looked like they were trying to fix that piece of equipment, and now it looks like they are going to be bringing that individual down. So this again is just a live picture of this taking place in the moment. As I mentioned, we brought these pictures to our viewers earlier here today. We saw these teams trying to work on this piece of equipment, and now they are getting the second of those two crew workers who were stuck up there down off of this building. Amazing pictures to just be seeing this rescue take place, and that's what we do for you right here on Live Now from Fox. We bring you these breaking news moments as they're happening, and we give you those full pictures, seeing it from start to end of these rescues that are taking place now here today. Now, officials have quite a few different first response vehicles down on the ground waiting. They're going to want to also help assess these two crew workers. Again, they were on this construction site here when this scaffolding piece of equipment had stopped working. And thankfully, it looks like they're going to be able to get both of them off, and then they'll have to just deal with how to get that piece of equipment down from the side of this high rise a little bit later. But again, these live pictures coming to us from Austin, Texas. We did have our Austin Travis County EMS tweeting about this incident earlier here today. And again, for those familiar with the Austin area, this is near 11th Street and the southbound I-35 service road. And some reports first came in saying that these two crew members were hanging from ropes at the construction site. As we zoom back, you can just see just how high up these two people were at the time of this incident. So very scary. I'm sure they have to be trained and well versed in what to do if something were to happen. But then again, you always think back to how well did I pay attention to all of those safety measures we needed to put in place, or what to do in response to these incidents. So you can see that they are slowly making their way down the side of this building. And hopefully, once they get down on the ground, they can finally have that sigh of relief that they are going to be safe. So this firefighter slowly bringing down that second individual from that scaffolding piece of equipment that had been stuck up alongside this building. And again, this is a live look we're giving to you right here on Live Now from Fox. They have almost made it down to the ground. I'm sure that the EMS crews that are down on the ground are going to want to just do a second quick little assessment. Even though they said that they were okay and they were able to help make their way down, they're still going to want to look them over, make sure there's not any unknown injuries, because obviously their adrenaline must have been going at this time when they were stuck up there.
Today we had a second alarm rescue task force, and what that is, it's a special operations call that in which when we have workers or somebody trapped in a special circumstance, that our special operations crews come out to mitigate the incident. At this incident, we were notified around 9:50 that we had workers trapped on the side of a building due to a malfunction on scaffolding. On our initial arrival, we tried to get the workers to see if they could solve the problem themselves. And when that wasn't working, we sent a rescuer over the ledge to assist the workers on the scaffolding. We had a technician at at our command post that tried to walk us through the steps to see if we could solve the problem on the scaffolding. When it was apparent that that was no longer going to be an option, we had to send rescuers over in what we call a team-based pickoff. So Austin Fire Department personnel went over the edge, and by rope we attached ourselves to the workers and then lowered them down to the ground. We had 2 workers on the scaffolding, and we now have both workers on the ground and all rescuers safe. At this time, it does not appear that there are any injuries to the workers. They were just trapped on the side of the building. So this was a successful operation between the Austin Fire Department. We also had the Austin Travis County EMS on scene as well in case we had any patients. Do y'all have any questions for me?
Really windy day. How did that impact this, if at all?
So we were concerned about the wind. That is definitely a factor. Our teams, once they got to the rooftop, they were able to evaluate the conditions. While it was windy up there, they still determined that it was going to be safe to perform a rescue operations. And when the rescuers went over the side, they said that the wind was not a significant factor in the operation.
Talk to us about your special operations team. What do they do and how do they train for situations like this?
So our Special Operations Division is encompassed with numerous stations, and they train every day in a variety of exercises. They have about 16 different disciplines that they do. High-angle rescue is one of those. And obviously all the training, the years of training that the team does pays off today on incidents like this.
So, sorry, how common are incidents like this?
They're not too common. We occasionally get incidents in which maybe a window washer is stuck on the side. Oftentimes, we might be able to solve the problem, helping them out with whatever mechanical issue was at hand. In this case today, that didn't work. We do see quite a few high-angle rescues in the green belts and the cliffs along there. So we do have a number of high-angle rescues.
Any theory as to why the scaffolding broke or anything like that?
No, we do not have any of that information at the time of what caused the malfunction on the scaffolding.
What role did the drones play out here?
So the drones is part of our red team, and they're able to get up and give us a picture very clear, very close up, and we can evaluate patients, we can evaluate if they have any needs, we can look at the scaffolding and get a better assessment if there's any actual damage where maybe it's unstable. So the drones can go up and they can monitor our rescue the entire time. Also with this, our drones have the capability of giving us a height. So we're able to even determine the height of where we're going to have to perform the rescue and set up our equipment appropriately.
Who investigates this now? So what happens next?
That could be OSHA. That gets turned over to the construction, and they handle that. So we are not part of that investigation.
You said that you tried to have the crews kind of solve this on their own at first, but they weren't able to. So what went wrong? What problems did they encounter? Elaborate on that.
We don't have all the information of what caused the malfunction. When the technician was down on the ground, they run through basic issues of making sure there's power, making sure if there's maybe a gear engaged, but we don't know what the issue was at hand on the scaffolding.
How much longer do we expect light to be blocked off around this area?
Probably about another 45 minutes, maybe to an hour. We have a number of teams up top. We had to set up an entire rope system in order to perform the rescue. So we still have to get our personnel off the rooftop of this building. So maybe about an hour.
Is there any concern with the scaffolding itself? Is it going to stay right there, or are you going to try and raise it or lower it?
Right now, the scaffolding is stable, but we'll leave that to the construction crew and the team that'll come out and solve the problem. I do not have that information at this time.
Any idea what floor it was?
They were about 170 feet off the ground is where the scaffolding was. So the scaffolding was about 174 feet. The rooftop was approximately 300 plus feet where we were starting the rescue from.
As for options, I know that it was a third option and that it worked. Are there backup options after the third option?
The option that we utilized pretty much works all the time. The reason we say that is the third option, because we're actually putting our rescuers on rope, we're putting a patient on a rope and lowering them down. So if we can do anything and make equipment work properly, we always try to go that route first.
How risky is that?
There's always a risk involved, but again, it goes back to the training, it goes back to the equipment that our Special Operations Division has, and that lowers the risk quite a bit with the trained personnel and the proper equipment. I did not get a chance to speak with them, but from what we can see, we don't believe any injuries. They were just stuck on the side of the building for a couple hours.
And just thankful to be down on the ground now.
And very thankful to be down on the ground. Yes.
I imagine none of these are really easy, but rescuing two guys with, knowledge of scaffolding and comfort with heights has to make things a little bit easier, right?
Yes, it does make it a little bit easier, but again, when you're working off scaffolding, you're used to having solid ground under your feet, but once you go over that edge, there's nothing under your feet. So if you're not used to doing that, there is a bit of a level of nervousness that comes along with it.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes. Thank you all very much.